Welcome back to this in-person gameplay series for Arsenal Pass. Hayden Dow here in my home and joined by current Australian national champion Nick. Nick, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Ready for some great games.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. This is me and Brendan have previously done a lot of over the internet webcam sort of games, but for the first time we actually have a bit of a setup here, and we're going to do some in-person games with Nick. We're gonna there's gonna be a couple of games that are gonna be going up over this week before Pro Tour. A couple of decks that we think are pretty cool in this format, pretty good. And sort of Road to National season coming up as well, so really relevant, I think, to get some gameplay out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Get some games in. So, you're going to be playing Bravo in this one. I'm going to be playing Azalea. Why don't you talk a little bit about maybe why Bravo right now, and then some of the key cards for this matchup.
Bravo is very good because of the card Crippling Crush, which is an alternative why you want to play it over a deck like Oldham in this format. Has a great, let's say a better Lexi matchup because of more on-hits available to you, as well as a plethora of defensive options, including Unmovable, Spectral Scene, and Sink Below, which is what I'm going to be doing against Azalea because that's the traditional counter to that deck, as well as playing interesting card like Stamp Authority, which is going to prevent on-hit effects from triggering, as well as giving me an extra intellect when I have 2 cards in my pitch zone. And this turn 1 is very powerful because I'm just going to be able to stop your on-hit. Turn 0, Arsenal an extra card, and I'm going to be able to get tempo with a 5-card hand.
Yeah, Ultimate has, Bravo has access to, or can a bit more easily play cards like this, right? Which is kind of the strength of the deck, maybe, or something like Ultimate to say. I'm on Azalea. I mean, one of the hot decks right now as we head to the Pro Tour. I mean, range is being talked about a lot, whether it's going to be Azalea, whether it's going to be Lexi, but, I wanted to pull out some cards that are different in my Azalea deck, I think, and maybe relevant also in this matchup. I mean, in terms of relevancy in this matchup, I think Fatigue Shot is a card that can help if we get into kind of a mid-game trading of tempo, can help potentially set up turns, if I can get in a Fatigue Shot and then set up afterwards. Bravo and Anothos is a card that people aren't playing, that both I know me and
Nick, is very crazy.
Yeah, very good card. And so we'll see the kind of impact in this matchup, being able to put your opponent off being able to pitch blues. The following turn can completely take a turn cycle away after it dominates. They can't even swing back with something like Weapon, especially in the late game. Premeditate, I just pulled out alongside Scout the Periphery as I think 2 of the better pumps that are available to Azalea right now. Scout, I don't play Rebel in my list, but I play Scout. Does the same job, I think, but
synergies.
Yeah, going
tall. Synergistic, yeah. People aren't playing it, and I think it's a very powerful card, even in limited. Like, it's an early pick in that. Makes sense.
Just as good as constructed. And then Codex Inertia, another card that, kind of seen some play in Ranger in the list that are out there. Yeah, it's picking up now. I think that card is also very good. Codex in general is very good. It can be an early pitch, and you can set up late as well. So that's kind of going to be it. I mean, we're going to get into it anyway, and play some games.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Nick.
All right.
I'll take odd.
Hang on. Even, number 4. I'll choose to go first.
Okay, fair enough. Why are you choosing to go first?
Bravo traditionally loves going first because you get to first get a tectonic plating off. You can heave as well in certain cases, as well as just, Showtime's a very good turn 1 play. Dominate Crippling Crush, pretty good. Dominate Spinal Crush, very strong too.
Just get damage and get an on-hit effect against me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or your auras.
All right, best of luck.
Best of luck. So hopefully, I mean, this setup is a little bit different as well. So trying a few different things. If you like the setup or you've got some tips that you want us to do next time for these in-person gameplays, let us know. Hopefully you can see our hands kind of okay as we go through the game as well. All
right, I'm going to do an interesting play turn 1, but I think it's just going to show the power of how Bravo can do things on turn 1. So I'm going to activate the effect of Bravo, Showstopper, to get Dominate. I'm going to have 1 resource floating. I'm going to then cast Spinal Crush, Dominated. Won't have an Arsenal, however, this is a very powerful on-hit effect against Azalea, which will prevent a lot.
All right. I mean, it's a reasonable start.
This one is 9.
Yep. So it means I just want to be able to come in with my best arrow out of hand, basically. So we'll just block and go ahead that. So let's go ahead, defend 3, and take 6.
6, down to 34.
Yep, down to 34.
Now I'm going to pitch in a certain way to... If we get back to that point, I'm going to want to draw certain cards quicker than others, so...
Showing the power of going first there.
Oh,
yeah. So basically, really just have to set up now, because can't death deal, it's going to be our action, and then we'd have no go again anyway. So just going to work to see what best kind of setup we can get in is... It's probably, yeah. So I mean, could just play this here to get read the glide path to get a view of the top of the deck, but it's not really. I think I'd rather just pass.
It is a powerful card.
Pass back.
So I'm actually going to have a couple options. This is a very powerful card right here. And this one's going to stymie him a little bit. It's a tough choice. Because I can hold this in the arsenal for the next turn, I'm just going to pitch this Buckling Blow, going with Rouse the Ancients, revealing Macho Grande and Disable.
Alright.
So it's going to be 7 with Go again.
So definitely going to try and push back some damage next turn. For sure, for sure. So we assume Nick's just going to come in with the Anothos for 6. Still pretty good. Okay. Alright. Let's block with this Drill Shot for 3. Take 4 to 30.
Going to pitch a blue, come in for 6, as I have 2/3 costs or higher.
And I think if we're going to...
1 that 6. This is 13 damage off 3 cards, which is a very strong turn, especially with all blue cards, which is one of the powerful things that Bravo can do.
Yeah. And if we're going to try and pivot... Yeah. Let's take 6, 24.
Right, I'll put this card in my arsenal. It's over to you.
Alright, take up Tunic. I'm going to start by flipping up to Scub and Crosswrap. Let's read the Glide Path. Take an Opt. Wow, it's not bad. I mean, at this point it's just going to provide us resources, I think. It's probably going to be the main thing. Alright, keep this on top. I'm going to play this read.
Oh, yeah.
Opt on, I'm going to keep it on top again.
Yep, sure.
And then we're going to pitch Infecting Shot to Death Dealer. Put in Fatigue Shot.
Yep. Powerful card.
Yep. And then we're going to pitch this. I'm just going to come in for 8 here.
So it's...
1 floating.
Yep.
So presenting an on-hit effect that could potentially stop Nick from just steamrolling us here.
Very sure.
But also trying to keep a card for Arsenal to have a reasonable turn next turn.
And you do want a good reason to get rid of my equipments, because that is a way to stop a big on-hit turn with your Dominate effects.
Yeah, definitely. Make you make a decision about whether you want to trade in equipment now to try and keep the momentum going, or maybe slow down this turn a little bit, try and trade value.
I'm going to block the 3, and then in the reaction, I assume Azalea is not usually a type. I'm going to play Fateful Seed. I'm going to look at the top card. See, not a very great one, so I'm going to put that one to the bottom of the deck.
Yep.
And I'll take 1 damage.
Yep.
And my next attack, it's attack action.
Take action card, correct, yep.
So
has half the base power rounded up for a fatigue shot hit. Alright, more Arsenal. I'll see you away.
I'm going to pitch a card. 2 floating. I'm going to activate Tectonic Plating to get a Seismic Surge token. I'll pitch for Anothos and attack you just for 6 damage.
Yep.
2 floating resources. Even though I cannot Belfluff Pummel here. As you know, my arsenal.
Yep, we saw off Rouse, so we kind of know what Nick wants to do in the future. Also, I guess crown it away potentially if need be, but well.
And is one of the downsides of Bravo. It is a very telegraphy deck that you can definitely. Their lines are very basic, which is a good thing when you're playing the deck. It's a very simple deck to pick up.
Alright. I'm going to go for a play. Hopefully we can show the power of this card here. show some Codex power maybe. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and defend for 3.
Yep.
So down to 21, 39 plus 21.
Yep. I will end my turn there.
Yep, take up Tunic. Alright, so we're going to Crosswrap. Revealing a Scout the Periphery. So we look at the top card. Okay, the card we fine with seeing. Exactly what we want to see, so that's fine. So I'm going to play Scout.
Look at the top of my deck if you want to.
Now we'll look at the top of your deck with Scout. Yep, okay. It's good to know. It's a good card to know about, I would say. We'll play Scout and play Premeditate.
Sure.
I'm definitely just going to go for max Big damage here. Play Lace as well.
That's big.
Alright, then we're going to play Codex of Inertia.
Oh, that's big.
So, you should put top card of their deck face down into their arsenal, which obviously we know about what it is. And if they do discard a card, obviously you can't. And then we discard a card, and we get a Ponder.
And I get an Inertia.
And you get an Inertia. And then, we'll clean this up. We'll leave these out here just for the effects. And then we're going to Tunic. Ooh, play this Infecting Shot.
I'm going to need some of these dice.
Give me some big juicy dice. So we're coming in for obviously 5 base power, 8, 11, 14 total. I don't have big enough dice for it, Nick.
Yeah, maybe
14 total.
That's all good. Yeah, they need to get some more done with these early decks.
On hit, we're going to have 2 Blood Rot if it hits. This is definitely the sort of power that Azalea is capable of pumping out. Obviously, we started really behind with Nick. That Spinal Crush, one of the best cards you can dominate on turn 1 because it basically did blank our whole first turn. I'll play catch up a little bit after that.
So I can block for 14 with all my equipments, but the question is a card like this worth it when there's a lot of powerful on hits that you could be presented with in Azalea? Is the question.
Well, Nick thinks that was block. There's actually another play we could have made here with the Scout. So if I want to be a bit more greedy, I could have actually just played the Scout and then used Skull and Crosswrap to opt for my Ponder effectively to try and set up a better Ponder for this end turn. But I wanted to make sure we had an arrow. Yep. So I wanted to look at the most cards.
So I'm going to block with all my equipments.
All right, we're getting them. Are we trading in? Crown trigger?
Yep. It's not. I think it's too risky. I think if no, you know what? I'm going to do that. You know what the top card of my deck is, but I don't know. So I wouldn't draw a card. That's not bad.
I think it's reasonable.
And then so this is going to be blocking 10.
Yep.
And then in the reaction phase, I'll use Sink Below's effect, and
right.
I won't trigger its effect.
Fair. Yep. So blocking out. So no Blood Rots for you. We're going to have a Ponder trigger end of turn.
And I have a -1 on 2 of my equipments.
Yeah, and we're going to Arsenal that card.
Definitely. You will.
Feels reasonable. I mean, we're always going to Arsenal there. We've got Skull and Crosswrap with Azalea's ability.
One of the differences between the Lexi deck and the Azalea deck.
Yeah, Skull and Crosswrap is super powerful.
At the start of the turn, my Seismic Search will pop. It will be for naught, really. I'm going to activate Terra Thunder, pitching a 3 cost, and then attack you with Anothos for 7. This is one of the pet plays for the Bravo deck.
Yeah.
It's a 7 attack Terra Thunder.
It's nice.
Discard 2 cards on hit. And
nice.
now that we don't have an Arsenal anymore, we won't get hit with the Inertia token.
Yeah, getting full value. Yep. I mean, obviously we could block this out if we wanted to use Perch Grapplers, all of our equipment. I think that's probably not on the table. I don't know, we're losing our Skull and Crosswrap and Tunic right now. So more than likely, it's like a case of whether we have a reasonable 1-card hand here, and we kind of don't. So we'd be blocking, we'd be taking 6, we'd be falling massively down. We're already at 21, next to 39. Really, we're trying to buy some tempo with that turn. This one is kind of the perfect card to have on the way back.
It's a great card. It's
great.
a very powerful
ideal.
card. Especially when there's not much equipment that can present it as a Ranger player.
I mean, we could Skull in this. We could try and look for a 0-cost arrow. Already seen 2 Drill Shot, which makes it a little bit tough. Or we could take the full 6 and just come in with an attack.
It's
damage.
7. Sorry.
7, sorry, yeah.
Yep. We'll
take the full 7. It's here. The right one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a tough spot. Because even if I choose to defend, or should say I chose not to defend, take 7, plus 14, come with an attack, you can easily just block with 2 cards, come back in with Anothos, and still present damage while setting up for a future turn. Put Inspiration to Arsenal, maybe. If I block, though, left with 1 card in hand, and literally can't do anything with the hand. Feels pretty bad, I would say. Well, we could get greedy for a Codex.
I mean, sometimes you do have to play to your win conditions.
Yeah.
Which separates the goods from the greats, you know? Some might say.
I'd say. Alright.
Play to win, play not to lose.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's take 4, 17. Yep. It's I choose the cards, right? What the cards you want to get rid of. I'd like to keep this for going tall. Keep that. Well, I'm gonna keep this.
More solicit, not much of a loss really.
Melting point.
End of my turn.
Yep.
I will trigger my inertia. I have no cards, so nothing goes to the bottom of my deck.
Yep.
And I'll draw 4 cards.
Alright. Go Tunic, we're gonna scum across right. Flip out the Scout Periphery.
Amazing.
And it allows us to resent some damage, which isn't terrible. Okay. Choose to Azalea here.
Yep.
Put this Bolton shot in from the top of the deck. And just come for 4.
Dominated.
Or dominated. Need those little dominate tokens.
Bravo does have an issue with cards with hands like this, which is one of the downsides. A lot of red cards sometimes make you a little upset.
So you're saying that I should have just done nothing this time?
I don't say that. I will move through the reaction step.
Sure.
I will play Sink Below.
Yep. Turn it red into a blue.
I'm just going to keep my hand because it doesn't matter whether I pitch this or not. And if I draw a card that isn't, I think everything in my deck is this thing, but if I draw a defense record, it's bad.
Yeah. Alright. Us.
I will use the effect of tectonic plating, make a seismic surge token. So those, pitching Crippling Crush.
Yep.
Very powerful card that I don't want to really get rid of. However, need to and attack you for 6.
And plus 6.
Crippling Crush is not as powerful when I don't have a seismic surge token. It costs too many cards.
Yep, very true. What's the best line here? Azalea often has so many lines.
Which is one of the fun things about Ranger.
Yeah, Death Dealer's involved, you've got Opt involved, you've got...
By the way, a great player like Brody Spurlock chooses to run it. There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
A lot of ways to outplay people.
You converting to Ranger?
We have to see at the Pro Tour what I'm playing.
Alright. This at least gives us some options. Up. Find. Alright. I think I want to block and I want to try and...
If you're blocking, do you mind if I switch keep the crush out?
I think since we see that pitched, hopefully... Yeah, I'd rather try and set something up, otherwise we're just going to get absolutely pummeled this game. Alright, we're going to hit block for 6.
Yep. Take nothing. I'll arsenal my card.
Yep.
In my turn.
Yeah, and my turn's just going to be coming for E-Strike 7.
Classic.
Yep.
2-card play.
Yep, and we'll keep this last card.
An alpha one as well.
Flex on him.
Yeah.
We'll keep this last card. This can be one of the better cards to start. Turn an Arsenal, give us some real options to power through some damage. Push into...
I will block with just Stamp Authority. It's the start. It's not really the start of the game, so it's a pretty inefficient card to play right now. I'll take 4 damage down to 35.
Getting there. Alright, 17 plays 35. Your turn.
Going to pop this Seismic Surge. I'm going to use Bravo's Dominate ability.
Yep. Should have opted that turn, by the way. Just for reference, people are wondering. I definitely should have opted before I played the strike.
I have 1 resource floating.
Yep.
With the Seismic Surge token, this will cost 4, so it's going to be 7 Dominate. Trying to get your equipment out of the way so I can do it on a Dominate play on the much better attacks.
Yeah. We should block 5. We're going to avoid this.
That's 4 you have to block.
Right, 4. Sorry,
Not that
4
bad.
gets for 7. Yeah.
Not that bad.
So it's blue. We're in a position where it might be what we want to be doing. We could definitely... We have Tunic available if we want to do anything spicy this turn. Good. So we hit. And this is a pretty good Arsenal target. Greedy with this card. master thing. Can we last turn?
Yep. Well, I did pitch Crippling Crush.
Yes.
So I chose to Arsenal that over a Crippling Crush, which is it's probably a very powerful card.
Pretty reasonable, yeah. Nothing floating, right?
No
yeah,
cards
he's hit
float,
side on this turn, so
put that there to represent. Nice clean. Mm-hmm.
Alright, I think we're gonna use the fish grapplers now.
Yep.
Beautiful. I think, unfortunately. Yeah, so we'll take 2. Go to 15.
It's all about stripping cards.
Just showing the power of what Bravo can do into Azalea. How to play it out. Okay. Yeah, second. Yeah, so I'll play Scout first.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at the top card of my deck.
Sure.
Okay. I don't think we want that. No, we don't. What we really want is probably a pump off the top. So put the bottom. I'm going to play Bolt and Shot out.
Oh, what did you do? Sorry.
What's that?
What happened?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I scouted. This has to stay at the top.
Yeah.
We're going to flip the Bolt and Shot. We're going to put this at the bottom.
Okay.
And then we're going to come in.
Okay.
We're going to still on cross wrap.
We do love a clean board state here at Arsenal Pass. My
so
hand isn't exactly doing very much. That presents a relevant on hit, but not particularly because he still hasn't used Death Dealer, so I assume that card isn't exactly going to do very much. I'm just going to block with 2 cards.
Yep, so like 1.
Take 1 damage, down to 34.
Yep. So, I'm be greedy here or not. Try and keep this. But you've blocked with 2 cards, so unlikely we're blocking with that many cards to make this card that relevant next turn. Instead of we'll pitch it. Yeah, because if we draw a pump, we'll play it anyway.
Yep.
Try and force more equipment out. So we'll Death Dealer in this.
Yep. In
this arrow. Draw a card. So breaking the chain since our action.
A rampart here, so it's...
And then we're just going to come in for 4 with the endless arrow.
Yep, so the on hit isn't exactly relevant because Hayden already has another card in his hand.
Mm-hmm. No Snapdragon Scalers.
Nope. I will... Obviously, math-wise, blocking with 1 card attack with this is reasonable, but hard to quantify the value of it.
Yeah, my life total's at a point. Token. Yeah, my life total's at a point now where you can start to quantify that as well, right?
Yeah. I'm going to take 4.
Okay. 30 plays 15. We get this covered hand actually, so I mean in reality, next keeping cards, chance we might want to be attacking with this, especially if we draw it. So yeah, we're gonna Arsenal this and we'll pass it off to you.
Yeah. I will pitch and use a Seismic Surge. And I will attack you for 6. So I could have blocked for 3 and attack for 4, which is 7 points, whereas this is 6. However, it's hard to know the value of a Seismic Surge, which we'll declare as like 1 point of value because it could be a whole card next turn if I have something like a Spinal Crush or a Dominate play or something like that.
Yeah, we're trying to set something out. So my kind of mission now is just like get some more value in this game and try and get next life total to something closer to mine so we can try and play a game. So
Bravo is a very snowbally deck when he does his thing.
We also need to be relevant of like careful of kind of threats used as well.
Yep.
Because we can definitely be fatigued. We still have a lot left in the deck though, which is good. A lot of pumps left as well. A lot of ways to go tall. But kind of considering blocking with 2 red cards here would be, you know, pretty sizable loss.
Yeah.
The other option we can is we can trade down on the damage, but it doesn't feel like a winning proposition. So we could attack for 5 with Go Again. Or we could block for 6 with these 2 cards. We're gonna go ahead and block for 6.
Yep.
Cool. Alright. Action's gonna be Scub and Crossroad, flip up this endless arrow.
Yep.
Or the top card. Certainly not a bad one.
Nice to see it then.
You have to... A little bit risky, right? Surely. Yeah, right. Let's keep this on top.
Brace of Belief, I just realized that's an interesting tech card that people aren't playing.
I know. I didn't talk about the start, did we? But Braces of Belief, which I'm about to use right now, I think it's like Goliath Gauntlet for Azalea, right? Because I get to look at the top card with Skullwing Crosswrap.
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm going to put a red on there. I know I'm going to get +2. And obviously, the other option you can be playing is the
Bullseye Braces.
Bullseye Braces for going wide, which is nice. But I don't play as many Bolton shots as other people do as well. And, I think...
It does help get on hits through.
Yeah.
Because sometimes even 15 Dominate isn't enough.
So we're going to show this Barbed Undertow off the top.
Always powerful.
We're going to get +2 to our next attack. Then we're going to activate Azalea afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Get this in. We're going to be able to trigger the Crow's Nest because it's coming from our deck. So we're going to pay 1.
Yep.
Put an aim counter on this.
Because that only works when you have an aim counter?
Only works when we've got an aim counter, so we need that. Definitely need that. Then we're going to play this Premeditate.
Oh, that's good.
And then we are going to... and then we're going to come in. So, coming in for 5, 8, 10 total. With our... and on hit, we'll get a Ponder.
Oh, yeah. So, we definitely don't want this to hit. I think I will do a... Ooh, it's very tough.
Like, one of my considerations is the fact that Nick's had this card sitting in Arsenal and it didn't proactively use it. But he did want to make a Seismic Surge, so it's like trying to decide whether I think it's a defensive card or an offensive card. It's hard. But I think we have to kind of, in this situation, I'm definitely behind, so I do think I need to go for some plays like this. I guess I was back into the game.
Yeah, I think over the next 3 turns, I'm going to be able to cast this, make another Seismic Surge, and then get off another attack in the future turns. So I'm happy to forego this combination, especially because if Barbed Undertow hits, I literally cannot play any of the cards in my hand. So I'm going to block for 3 with Command and Conquer.
Yep.
And in the reaction step, I will pitch and play Unmovable for my Arsenal to block 11.
There we go. Yep.
That's going to cleanly block that out.
Yeah, pretty big swing there. So really I was just hoping that Nick didn't have access to that. It was more of an offensive card or something. Obviously Nick prioritizing the defensive there, as we saw, getting rid of that Crippling Crush. Right, we'll pass back.
So my Seismic Surge will pop. If sadly will not go to use, I'm going to attack you for 4 with Anothos.
Okay. And card ready for Arsenal.
This will be my Arsenal next turn, so I'm going to be able to fire this off. And in a few turns, I like to think I'm going to be able to get off another push turn into Dominate. So I'm thinking a couple turns ahead here. And Azalea with a 4-card hand isn't exactly that threatening, especially with the life lead I have. So
I'll take 1. So
as long as Azalea doesn't come in with an on-hit effect that stymies my turns, if it's just an infecting shot or something like that, I'm happy to take the extra damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm definitely trying to try and find.
Yeah.
All right, 14 plays, 30. So no Arsenal to start with. Kind of not really where we want to be, but right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to pitch this Blue Bolton shot to Death Dealer. I'm going to put in this Barbed Undertow and draw.
Yep.
And amount of damage. That's how much we want to push.
Makes sense.
So we have taken a big chunk of Nick's equipment, which is really important in this matchup. It makes it harder for him to start to initially block out on hit effects cleanly and keep pressure on. So I'd ideally like to try and take 3 cards from him here, which is what we're going to do, and then I can still keep a card. So we're going to go ahead and play Lace for the Inertia, and then we're going to come with Barbed Undertow for 8. Unfortunately, obviously, no on-hit effect from the Barbed Undertow other than the Lace for the Inertia, because we couldn't Crow's Nest a aim counter onto it. Could have gone for a blind fillet, but it's probably a bit bad.
Yeah.
That's for later in the game, when we're really far behind.
So it's a tough spot for me to use one of those Bravo hands that does not do that much.
You get those sometimes.
However, this card is incredibly powerful, and so I'm thinking of foregoing my Arsenal. Get it off.
From my side, from this other side, we're getting to the point in the game where we don't want to lose too many more cards, or Nick could actually pivot potentially and fatigue us, depending on how many ways he thinks he's still got to defend out Dominated attacks. Going through 1 unmovable, 2 sinks, a fate. So no, there's still blue unmovables.
I'm going to block for 3.
Yep.
And I'm going to block with this Crater Fist.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go to the graveyard.
Yeah, it's got temper, so it's going to go afterwards.
So that's 4, and I'm going to react to the Fateful Scene.
Yep.
I'm going to look at the top card.
Right.
I leave that on top of my deck.
Alright.
As I need that for next turn.
So no on hit there, so we're just going to pass. So I only got 2 cards out of the deck, unfortunately, but another piece of the equipment. Yep. It's not irrelevant.
I'm going to pitch this unmovable because it was not very useful, as I only have 1 blue card. I will make a Seismic Surge token. And a swing for 6 again. No resources left.
So this is one of the fun parts about playing these games, especially against Guardian, is what's in next arsenal. So it's a big part of the decision here for me, I think, in terms of I have a really good hand, very good offensive hand. But if we take the 6 damage here and we go to 8 and we, Nick's able to block us out with 3 cards and avoid on hit effects, probably the game's over, I think, close to at that point. I thought, actually, we're not meant to say that, are we? I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes when you play on feature matches and stuff, they're like, "I'll play to the conclusion of the game,"
Oh yeah.
That's my concluder. Anyway, so if this is a defensive card, I mean, we've seen another unmovable pitched earlier as well, so we know it's not a red unmovable, but it could be what we've seen. 2 sinks, 2 fates, a blue unmovable maybe. I think. I mean, the hand is super aggressive. We can get through this. Flip this, we can find another arrow. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I'm going to take 6 here.
Cool.
Yeah, go to 8. 8 plays 30.
Getting a bit scared here. Even though I'm up 22 life. Azalea definitely can bridge that gap real quick.
Alright. I'll flip the second destroy to Skull and cross wrap. Let's have a little look. Oh. Not exactly the flashiest card. Not one we want to. Really looking for. Yeah, it's not what I'm looking for. So we're gonna bottom that.
Cool.
I'm gonna. Yeah, we're gonna play Read the Glide Path. Opt another one. In what we're looking for. I wonder if we could have blocked with this this card here actually, maybe. But we might want to use it after. Try and find the. No, we have a problem. This. Cool. Got to find an arrow, I think, ideally. So I'm gonna play the Seek and Destroy.
Yep.
Currently looking. This should. Theory, unless it's a defensive card. Quite a little bit. And if it is an offensive card, we have the chance to just. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna play the Seek and Destroy, and then we're gonna activate Death Dealer.
Yep.
Death Dealer. Put this Bolton shot in.
Fantastic.
Okay. Sure. Play this Lace of Blood Rot.
Yep.
And then we're gonna play this Bolton shot for 13.
That is a lot.
It is quite a bit. So we're gonna try and see if we can get. I mean, I feel pretty good if it's an offensive card in your arsenal. If it's a defensive card, I feel a lot. Is this the card that we drew? Yeah, which.
So I'm not going to be able to block this out. So 13.
13, and we've got Seek and Destroy and Lace with Blood Rot as on hit effects.
So I can block this out with my hand.
Plus your equipment.
And the equipment's there, but because we're so far ahead in life, I think it's reasonable us to take a bit of damage here and try and short a bit later. So I'm going to block for 3, and then in the reaction phase, I will Fateful Scene.
Sure. Yep.
Look at the top card. I don't think I particularly want that right now, so I'm going to put that to the bottom of the deck. People didn't see. It's fine. It's not a very useful card that I want.
So taking 6.
13.
Yeah.
Yep. Down to 24.
And a Blood Rot for you.
Appreciate that.
All right. We have an on-hit effect as well of reload.
Sure.
I mean, I think we're going to reload. The question is, am I just blind Azaleaing after that? I'm not quite back at... Definitely not back at finish.
No. Bravo is the deck that can end the game quickly or make the game go long.
Yeah. But if we hit something like... Infecting shots, for instance, have we seen... I think we blocked with 1 and... okay, we've seen all 3 infecting shots, makes it tough. We do have some 1-cost arrows left.
I'm going to represent this inertia. I'm going to represent inertia token as Seek and Destroy. It functionally works as the same thing.
Good call.
That's one hit effect that I'm going to use.
I mean, we've put our worst hit to the bottom. They're just absolute blank. And even, but what if we hit something like a pump? It just means that we can't flip the next turn.
And you can just play it out.
Yeah.
Solid.
Just think about how much of an upgrade is like a 1-cost arrow. It's, I mean, I think this forces Nick to give us a card, or at least forces him to give us equipment. Makes it. Because we're on 8 here, what I really want is to force Nick to actually have to give us cards, because you can just keep pressuring life total.
Hammers, there's the inevitability of hammer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we just hit Codex off the top, you know, we're just cheering and it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think we're gonna make some plays here. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna blind Azalea after I reload.
Yep.
So activate, breaking the chain.
Reasonable. What is it?
All right.
So you're gonna be able to look at the top 2 cards of your deck.
Yeah.
Put them back in any order you like.
Oh wow. Okay, we'll keep that on.
At least you know what you're gonna be drawing.
All right, we only lost 1 value on it. One damage value. Wow, actually we lost 2 damage value potentially.
I will take. If I was taking damage off that, I'm gonna take damage off that
take
one.
The 3, so 21 plays
20.
8. Yep, and then we just have to pass.
Yep. At the start of my action phase, my Seismic Surge will pop.
Yep.
I will use Bravo's Dominate ability.
Oh, here we go.
And I will pitch and play Spinal Crush, dominated for 9.
Yep, card's good.
That's the reason to take damage, I'd say. That is a reason to take damage, I'd say.
Yep, I think it's pretty good, pretty good reason. I mean, not really. You know, not having a card in Arsenal, we get pretty punished by this as well. Not what we can do about it. So really, I just have to try and set up.
Yeah.
Try and work out what the best card for setup is here, and dump the remainder. Dump the 1 card I can, rather. So we place to set up, it's not good. Alright, well, we just have to take 5.
Yep.
Go to 3.
You are crushed, sir.
Yeah, this Spinal Crush is a ton of work.
So I'll close the combat chain up. I'll proceed to the end of my turn.
Yeah.
Inertia token.
Yep.
Rocks will pop. I will go to 19 health.
Yep.
So I can't stop it.
Interesting, like a lot of people talk about, you know, the difference between Ultim and Bravo, and people say, oh, you know, Bravo's like hero ability is basically irrelevant, but let's match up.
It's against ranger decks, it is a very powerful ability.
I keep some of these in the deck, so we're just gonna put this in us. I might want to open up the Death Dealer route next turn off of Tunic actually, so we're gonna Arsenal this and then pass.
Yep, so I have an interesting hand, to say the least. It's not one that kills, which is unfortunate, I'd say. But I can force cards. Azalea does have a lot of block 2s, and the block 3s that Azalea does have access to mostly are attacks that can threaten me, so card like Commander Conquer, which I'm going to cast this turn, is quite strong. I will pitch and make a Seismic Surge token, and sadly I won't be able to use all my cards in hand. I will just cast Commander Conquer for 6. I am repping a pummel here.
Although we have seen no pummels in this game.
At all.
Pitched. Yep. Maybe you've been tucking them with sinks and just doing us sneaky, you know?
True. Or just have not drawn them yet.
That's true.
However, at this point of the game, it's impossible to play around a pummel, and so it's basically irrelevant to even threaten it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got to... Yeah. I'd like to... Yeah.
I can come in with this, however, it doesn't progress the game any further. It might have been good just because of the amount of block 2s that they play, however, I just want to have it as a sure thing for the next turn coming up.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and block 6.
Yep. I will arsenal this card.
Yep.
And end my turn.
No cool Codex plays here, unfortunately, which would be nice. So instead, yeah, no Codex plays.
Unfortunate.
Get it next time. Can see relevant swap could be good.
Yeah, pretty sure back to second cycle now, as I did start the game. So
yeah, okay. Let's go and cross route.
Obviously, now looking back, doing this, just raw dogging it was a very powerful play. When in hindsight, seeing my next hand.
Bottom this. Gonna play the lace.
Sure.
And then we activate Death Dealer.
Yep.
Then again, just considering options of just going blind. Unfortunately, I think I can present 11 damage here, but it's so.
You need to have an on
yeah,
hit.
but you can once you keep you can just if I do that every turn, you just keep Anothos every turn and just take the game that way. So it's just a losing proposition, I think. So we're gonna play I guess we can play afterwards, can't we? We might want the resource. We might just want to ask one depending. So yeah, we're gonna activate Azalea here.
Yeah. It's not blind, is it?
It is blind.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not back to stack. Otherwise, I can present. The other option is just keep this card, present 8. But Nick doesn't even have to block that, so it's really bad, I think. I mean,
yeah, I think it's definitely correct because no matter you're still rocking a hard place unless you get something nice going.
Yeah, unfortunate. So we just have to pass turn.
Yep.
But like, I think there's just no the play of coming in for 8 or even 11 is just not.
Yeah, I think finding something like a Red in the Ledger.
Yeah.
Something just to stop me from going for the lethal. So my Slice Search will pop.
Yep.
I will make another one.
Yep.
And I will just dominate Crippling Crush.
Yep. And it's going to do the game. So we definitely had to try and present something there against Nick. I mean, if we had found this, fatigue shot or something that's a lot scarier, we can actually, we can not die, which is huge. So yeah, that's the game.
Thank you.